Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to start to rebuild our carburetor. Went out and got my carburetor rebuild kit. What we got here on the package is we got a base plate gasket that goes between the base plate and the manifold. We got another carburetor gasket that goes between the base plate and the main body. A bunch of different accelerator pumps to choose from. A bunch of different O-rings for the bolts. We got needle and seat. I don't know if you can see it. Needle and seat and gaskets, bolt gaskets, metering block gaskets, and assorted on pieces for the main body in case that's not the right one. So we got to match that up. All right, let's start off by taking apart our fuel bowl. So I'm gonna aim you guys down towards the table now. All right, so we got our fuel bowl. We got our accelerator pump. There's a diaphragm in there we're gonna have to replace. We got this blue gasket, which sometimes you could reuse them. Sometimes they don't tear. I'm sure the ones that come in the kit, those are the ones that tear real easy. I like these blue ones. I just learned a hint the other day. You spray them down with a little bit of Vaseline. They don't stick as much. Fuel bowl. We're going to wind up taking our fuel bowl out. Our fuel float, our float out. And our needle and seat is under this. So let's start off by taking our needle and seat off. So what we're going to need is a 5/8. I'm using a 16 millimeters, usually the same as 5/8. See that the gasket was all torn. This is going to have to be adjusted when we're done. This is we can actually adjust it from here. Winds up adjusting our needle and seat. I have to break the screw off the top. That's our locking screw right there, which is a flathead. Just so you guys know, I've had many of these carburetors get the float stick, and sometimes when they stick and they're flooding, like you see physical gas, like this float will get stuck like this, and the needle and seat will get stuck. You tap them right here with a hammer, it winds up getting the float to unstick and seat itself. Basically, the float gets stuck and it sinks itself with fuel, and the fuel comes over the float and starts going in the carburetor. And if you tap it, sometimes it will loosen up the little needle in here and it will get itself right. Alright, so we got our needle and seat off. We're going to wind up putting a new one in that's in our kit. So I'll take the jam nut off. There's a gasket there that we're going to have to replace. Jam nut. And we'll replace that. Now let's see our accelerator pump diaphragm. Should be a diaphragm, a spring. There's a little check ball, but don't have to mess with the check ball. Check ball. So sometimes they use I see them in transmissions. I've seen them in carburetors. Sometimes they call them a one-way valve. It allows fluids to flow one direction, but not the other direction. The ball keeps it from moving the other direction. It's really a genius idea. Simple and genius. So I've seen these diaphragms go bad and you wind up getting gasoline comes out leaking out of this hole. All it is a piece of rubber that when you move it, it pushes fuel. That fuel winds up going through that hole into the metering block and comes out our squirters. So we'll wind up taking this off. And then we have our spring I was talking about. And then deep inside there's a little check ball. Alright? Like I said, fuel winds up going through that tiny hole right there, coming out through there. Alright guys, so let me open up my package and put the new diaphragm in it. Let's see what I got in here first. I got some needle and seats. I know we need them. Here's the diaphragm. We measure it up to our other ones. Sometimes they're different sizes. That looks perfect. So I'm going to put my spring back in, put my diaphragm on, and my accelerator pump cover. So all these parts together are called an accelerator pump. So accelerator pump is a lever, diaphragm, a spring, and a one-way check ball. Get that all together and screwed. So 4 screws hold it on. So once again, when these go bad, they usually leak. Alright, get them tight. Now if I wanted to, I could take my float out, but I don't feel it's necessary to for building this. Got a little bit of muck in there. So maybe what I should do is also use a little bit of carburetor cleaner. That's what this stuff is actually for. And spray a little carb clean on, which I should have put my glasses on. This stuff, oh my God, you get this in your eye, you're going to know it. Also, the fumes are a little rough. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. So I'm going to use that to clean the bottom of the bowl. Get any loose particles and dust. Get all that dirty gasoline sits back down in there and winds up clogging things up. Don't get it on painted surfaces either. It'll take paint off. Couldn't get, none of the parts stores had a dip tank. Might run up to Honesdale. My friend gave me a parts store that I should check out that has a lot of this stuff we need for this. Probably one of the boatyards around here probably has a dip tank too. I didn't think about that because a lot of boats still have carburetors and stuff on them. Bet you those guys still build a lot of carburetors. Alright, so I'm going to open up one of these packages now. Put our new needle and seat in. Now there is an adjustment for this. It's done on the car when we have to adjust it. And this will adjust our level. But when it's on the car, we take this screw out and we visually look for gasoline coming out. So we wind up adjusting it to gasoline just starts coming out of this hole when we like rock the car a little bit. So I'm going to screw that in. I'm going to use this to twist it in a little bit. So if you see when I start turning this, you'll see the float start moving. See how it's starting to move? That's how you adjust it. So I'm making it lower and lower and lower. If I loosen it up, it goes higher, higher, higher. So that's how we adjust it. So I got to put this gasket on first. Then our adjusting nut. Adjusting nut. Then I'm going to come back and do this just so to film though. You have a gasket that goes here. I'm going to redo because they're still stuck on gasket. No need for you guys to sit there and watch me scrape away a gasket. And this locks it into place. And like I said, when we have it all bolted on, we adjust it until we see gas starting to come out of this when we shake the car. Alright guys, so to go over everything, we replaced the diaphragm in our accelerator pump and replaced our needle and seat, and we wound up cleaning the bottom of the bowl with some carburetor cleaner. Alright, so we have to do that one more time on the secondary pump. And we have to clean our metering blocks and put all new gaskets in it. Alright guys, until next time, I'll see you later.